Welcome to CN Free Studio. I'm Jen. This is a place where we like to talk about what makes us unique, special, and different. And some people find ways to leverage their USD in their career, and some use it in their community. And our next guest does both. We have India Williams here with us today. She's a San Francisco native and now lives in LA. A few years ago, she achieved one of her life goals and became Miss California 2017 and was a top 10 finalist in Miss USA. That gave her a platform to work with a lot of causes that she cares about and nonprofits. And now she's an executive director of ScaleLA Foundation. It's a nonprofit that empowers underserved youth to use entrepreneurial thinking to solve systemic problems. That is how we met many years ago, where she was doing a hackathon with Google and some of our local universities and high schools. And I really enjoyed getting to know her, and I'm glad to share her with all of you today. Please welcome India.
Thank you so much, Jen, for having me. I know you've got a star-studded list of guests for the podcast, and so I just feel so honored and thankful that you've included me amongst some incredible people. So thanks for the time.
Yes, thank you. I'm so glad to have you and be a part of this. And you know, India, we met a couple of years ago, and I know a little bit about what you're doing these days. But will you tell everybody else what you're doing?
Yeah, lots of exciting things have happened over the past few years. As you mentioned, really my focus is on improving the work that we're doing on the foundation side. So the ScaleLA Foundation, the 501c3 nonprofit that I am just so lucky to head up. We have recently launched a partnership with Blue Shield of California and a really incredible nonprofit out of the Bay Area called Center for Youth Wellness, which is all around using our mentor-to-mentor model, which connects underserved high school youth with entrepreneurial level college students and executives from local LA-based tech companies to solve for a specific challenge in the community. And the challenge that we're working on with Blue Shield is around how can we really guide our participants to think creatively about ways that we can improve mental health and well-being for South LA community residents. And so we just wrapped up a really big hackathon back in December with our participants of Compton Unified School District high school students, some college students from UCLA, USC, LMU, and then mentors from Headspace, from Google, and a bunch of different a bunch of different startups around the LA area, all who presented some really interesting and innovative ways that we can improve mental health for our community members. And so we're just so excited about how that project is wrapping up. And in the next few months, what's to come is we've decided a winning solution out of the concepts that were presented, and we're actually putting that into development and production. So hopefully in the next few months, we've got a really tangible MVP of a product that we can put out in the community and really see its real world impact. So lots of big things have been happening over on my side, and just excited to see how it moves forward.
Well, I am too, and you know, and you've done so much, India, in just a very short amount of time, even with ScaleLA and with the foundation, but also in your life. I mean, when I was reading about your Miss California title, you did that when you were 20 years old, and that wasn't too long ago. So you seem to have really kind of discovered something that drives you and energizes you, and you know, to bring about all of this great work that you're doing. Have you thought about what your unique, special, and different is, your USD, that thing that drives you inside?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I have thought about that quite a bit. And so I think kind of dovetailing off of what you said, Jen, it feels, I try to be as humble as possible, but I do think that what has been really exciting in my life is I have achieved I think I'm really good at setting goals and achieving them in record pace. And so I don't say that to mean that there needs to be this foot race to do things quickly and achieve things in a specific timeline, but I just have been very clear about what I want and what are the steps that I need to take to go from A to B. And it's just been so worthwhile to see how things have come to fruition in my life much sooner than maybe I had anticipated. And I think, though, taking that into consideration, just as you mentioned, I've done quite a few things. I'm only 24 now, and I've accomplished, I think, a lot that I've set out to. But that has certainly come with a group of naysayers, people who have doubted me, who have told me that I'm not fit to accomplish some of these goals that I've set out for. And so something that I think makes me truly unique and different and special is that from a very young age, early on, I learned to respect myself. And I mean that to say that I've learned how to um, be confident in my instincts and go with my gut. I've learned to listen to those around me, but know that my perspectives, my opinions are valid and they matter. And so I think I've been a very good advocate for myself over the past few years, and that's been tremendously beneficial to helping me get through my experience in pageantry, now to my kind of unconventional career choices, just really learning to respect myself and, you know, have confidence in my abilities has just made such a difference.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm curious. So on the flip side of these naysayers that tried to hold you down and kind of got you to that point of respecting yourself, was there somebody or some people that were the champions that helped kind of pull you through and help you realize that about yourself?
Totally, 100%. I'm very lucky to have a very strong system of support. I think it's really interesting that on the ScaleLA Foundation side, we're working on this mentor to mentor program and teaching youth about the benefits of having supportive relationships. And I think as I'm developing this mentorship program for others, I have gained a tremendous amount of mentors for myself, personal mentors. And so there have certainly been people who have been my cheerleaders, been my rocks, have taken a chance on me, and it makes me even more motivated to prove to them that they made the right decision in believing in me. And so that is certainly a motivator in my life, is just the numerous people that are counting on me and really believe in me. So yes, absolutely have a fantastic support system and people who have been so helpful in getting me to where I am today.
Love it. And I was going to ask you, your goals, at least my experience of getting to know you, your goals are not just, weak goals here. You go after some big stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, with Scale LA and the work that you're doing, you're trying to solve some pretty significant problems. The work that I remember you doing when I met you was solving youth homelessness.
Yeah.
I mean, you go after some big stuff. What gives you that confidence to go after some of these really systemic, big, hairy problems?
Yeah, I hear you on that. I think it is really daunting, and something that I think continues to get me up out of bed every day. And I think it comes from both the work I do on the nonprofit side and the for-profit side, is just seeing how I think there's just some really unique people who look at these bigger systemic institutional problems and say, I'm not just going to agree with what's been done for the past 10, 20, 50 years. There are people out there that can um, take on that challenge and say, like, I am the one to make a difference. And I think whether that difference be big or small, that's certainly a goal for me on the nonprofit side, is to really help our youth understand that they can be agents of change in their community. And so just as you mentioned, the foundation has been really lucky to work on a tremendous amount of like different challenges in different industries. We've helped the city of LA, the county, really think about how we can support the foster care system. I met you working on a project around how we can support the success of homeless youth. We have worked on how we can ensure that first generation college students feel a sense of belonging on campus. And then, of course, our project for 2020 and 2021 around mental health, mental well-being, and behavioral health. And so I think a big portion of that and what makes me feel confident to be able to be the one to lead the charge and hopefully affecting some of these big changes is really taking that first step of empathizing with people, their experiences, and what's going on in the community. So getting down to that really tactical, granular level of meeting with people, having conversations, figuring out where really innovation can come in and support and make their life different, and just help the well-being of people around me. And so that big, empathy is a big piece for me. It's just getting to understand what people are going through.
Yeah, and yes, and I think you also probably are a role model for many of these youth that you're helping. And I don't know anything about the pageantry world, so you might have to educate me.
I can definitely do that.
I would love that. But you said that was one of your life goals, right? And I'm assuming that also puts you on a platform to be a role model, and
Sure.
and then you've had to carry that on through. How do you feel about that? What's that like?
Yeah, that's a super interesting question. And so I think the first place for me to start is probably just addressing kind of the elephant in the room is pageants are, I think, a very controversial topic. There is a certain stigma associated with the pageant industry in general. And I can definitely go on record to say that a lot of the things that you hear about pageants being catty, or it's all about a competition, or it's just about being beautiful, you're being judged on your looks, on your body, all of that is it's not what it's about. It's absolutely not what it's about. Pageantry, I think, being a part of something that forced me to really understand what I'm passionate about, what I'm driven about, or what drives me in life, what my values are. It taught me how to market myself as an individual to be able to prove to the judges, the audience, the people in the room why I'm the best representative for California on a national stage. And so it taught me so many different um, qualities and characteristics that I have then taken over into my professional career. We do interview training. It's about, dressing the part, being professional, that whole concept of when you look good, you feel good. I gained so much confidence and self-esteem from participating in pageantry. But more importantly for me, it just allowed me being Miss California allowed me to have a megaphone to shine light on the things that I care about most. And so throughout my year, I volunteered across the state of California with numerous nonprofits. Some of the things I was most focused on were working with an organization to help people suffering from developmental disabilities. I helped raise money to build clean water wells in Africa. I helped sign up donors for bone marrow transplants to support people suffering from blood-related cancers. And then ultimately leading to what I do now, I really found a love for the startup space and the entrepreneurial spirit, and just being a part of pageantry just helped me uncover what I feel like I'm on this earth to do. And so I think pageants get a really negative rap, but we're just the right stepping stone for me to continue to get to where I am today. And I hope that during my time in 2017, I was able to make an impact on somebody. I don't want to think of myself as a role model, but I hope that I was able to kind of live my life and make it seem to other women or young girls that may have been watching the pageant industry that really anything is possible. And that's not, just a closed door there. From pageants, you can go on to really do anything. And so, yeah, it was just a fantastic year.
Thank you for sharing that. That was actually a great education. I think you're right. There is a stigma around it, but there's so much more that you get from a value perspective, and it gives you an opportunity to not only represent your state in this case, but represent the things that matter to you, and like you said, your value system. And that was actually really good to hear, because like I said, I really don't have a stigma because I know nothing about it. But that was really refreshing to hear. And I think that speaks to your USD though, which is that setting the goal. Because when I was reading your bio, you said that was a goal, like is to be Miss California. And at what point did you set that goal for yourself? And I can't wait to hear what your next set of goals is about.
Yeah, I think that goal, if I'm just going to be completely honest with you, I remember my first kind of introduction to pageantry came from just watching the Miss Teen USA pageant on TV. And my mom looked over at me and said, India, don't you think you want to do this? Do you want to try? And I told her, no, I'm never going to be on that stage. I would never be comfortable enough doing that. I'm not doing it. And she just kept kind of slowly putting that seed in my ear. Like, I really think this is something you could be great at. You're comfortable talking to people in person. I think this is a good platform for you to kind of build off of. And she was the one that was just like, this could be a spot where I could see you really excel. And so if I didn't listen to kind of her pushing and prodding me to go that direction, it definitely wouldn't have turned out this way. But once I just gave it a shot, she was totally right. I absolutely loved it. I felt like I had found my home and some people that I felt really supported me and cared about me and just wanted me to be the best version of myself possible. And so I did my first pageant. I tried for Miss California when I was 20, and I was really lucky. I won on the very first try. And so, like I said, setting goals and achieving them pretty quickly is something that is just worked out really well for me. So I've definitely got a long list of things that I hope to accomplish in the next few years or so, and we'll see how fast those happen for me too.
I like it. Like you said, speed is not the issue, yes, but you do like to go after it pretty fast.
I do. So, I
do. Nothing wrong with that, my friend. Well, I guess, in the pageantry world, you probably had to answer some questions. And so I've got a set of random questions for you today. And you get to pick from a 1 to 25, that will dictate which question you get. So what number would you like to pick?
I'm going to go with number 6.
6, all right. Okay. Ooh. Who is
this
one?
Is so fun.
It's really fun for me because I never know what people are going to pick. Who is one person in your life who has influenced or shaped your opportunity to discover your USD?
Oh, that's so interesting. Great question. I think someone in my life that has absolutely changed my perspective on my gift and my unique special difference is my colleague who I work with very closely on both the Scale Health and ScaleLA Foundation side, Taylor McPartland, who Jen, you know very well. Taylor was probably the very first person that I felt like out of my immediate network of close supporters, friends, family, took that chance on me. I met Taylor in a Starbucks at my college campus and was just so excited to tell him about this vision that I had on the nonprofit side about how we could work with youth combined with the LA startup community and make a tangible difference in the community. And I remember Taylor kind of looking at me crazy. He's like, why is this 18-year-old girl setting out to do this thing? But he believed in me. And I think to this day, he's someone that constantly uplifts me, makes me feel like I have a seat at the table, is listening to my crazy, wild ideas. Sometimes he does shoot them down when he has to, just to make sure that I'm on the right track and we're able to, keep up with our goals and our progress. But he was definitely the first person out of my immediate circle that I felt helped me realize what my gift is.
No, I love that. I love to hear that. And I do know Taylor very well. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know how you two met, but that is a great story. So shout out Taylor. He does talk infinitely about how amazing you are, India, and he is one of your biggest champions and has been one of mine as well. He's introduced me to half of LA, so it's been really good.
He knows everybody.
He does really know everybody. That conversation when you were 18 led to the ScaleLA Foundation that you are running today, I'm assuming. And I would love to hear what's going on. What is ScaleLA Foundation? What are you doing? And because we want to make sure we're supporting the organization and bringing attention to it and awareness. And so we're going to try to drive some people to get more involved. So how can they do that?
Oh yeah, we would love that. We are excited to continue the work on our Mentor to Mentor program, as I mentioned, connecting youth with college entrepreneurs and the startup community in LA. And hopefully, as we're able to grow and with your support, we can take this from just being a local thing to something that we can take nationally. And so we're always looking for people who are interested in coming aboard as mentors, people who can help us find access to youth organizations to share our programming with. Really anything across the board is super helpful and just making sure that we can achieve our mission of inspiring people to leverage entrepreneurial thinking to tackle big issues and making sure that youth in particular realize that they can make a difference and be agents of change. And so we would love to have any conversations, whether it be big or small, just surrounding ourselves with people who care about similar interests, have similar synergies, we're all for it. So thank you for the opportunity to have this platform to maybe connect with some other like-minded people to help us with our mission.
Yes, yes. And I would love to drive attention to the mission. I'm a big fan ever since I've gotten to know you and the organization. And it really, just to see these students get matched up with mentors, either in different fields or disciplines or in universities, and for them to see like there's a life that's possible for me. There are roles out there that are possible for me. If I really want to solve the world's problems, I can do that. And you've given them the opportunity to do that, India. And I hope that you see just how much work you've done and what an impact you've made.
Oh, thank you, Jen. That's warms my heart to hear. I know something that I value a lot is gratitude and appreciation, and so to hear that from you means the world. So thank you.
Perfect. I want to make sure that everybody goes out and supports ScaleLA. You'll see at the end of the show we have a QR code. You can take a snapshot of that, and then when you do that, it'll take you right to the donation page. But like India said, there's so many different ways that you can get involved, and you don't even have to be from LA. You can still support the organization and organizations like it in your communities, as well as Scale Health, which is the for-profit that India that you're involved in. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, totally. So I do wear two hats. In the spirit of startups, we're all working on multiple things at a time. So in addition to being executive director of the ScaleLA Foundation, I'm also community director for Scale Health. We are an entrepreneurial organization where our mission is really to help accelerate and scale innovation in the health science, in the health tech and life science community. And so we work with right now about 200 plus entrepreneurs located across the United States and even internationally who are working on innovation that is geared towards improving the mind, body, and soul of our community members. And so part of my role there is around making sure that I understand each company's life cycle from ideation to exit or whatever their larger goals are, and making strategic introductions for them along the way to some of our investment partners, our payers, providers, health systems that we work with for pilot opportunities or partnership opportunities. And then, of course, on the education side, which is something I'm really passionate about considering the nonprofit work, getting them connected with thought leaders in the healthcare space, connections with advisors, all with the goal of moving their innovation forward. And so we work with some incredible founders and startups that, again, as we talked about, are motivated by just solving big issues. And as we all know, and especially considering the year we've all been through regarding COVID, the healthcare industry is in drastic need of some innovation and improvement. And so it's just fantastic to be able to work with people every day who are taking on that challenge. And so lots of exciting things on the horizon for Scale Health as well. We're looking to continue expanding, growing our business, whether that be bringing on new founders from different communities or increasing some of our partnerships. There's just some really exciting momentum on the for-profit side as well.
Yes, and so if you're out there trying to figure out how to solve one of our many myriad of healthcare problems, connect with Scale Health, because it is a great community, a consortium of people like you who are trying to tackle healthcare and healthcare innovation and healthcare technology. Great organization to be a part of. So shout out to the team, and look, you get to hang out with India, so you should definitely give them a call.
Yeah, super fun. We're a really close team. We all support each other, and we're always looking to grow. And so I would highly encourage you, if you're working on anything out there to improve the health of your community members, please join us. We'd love to have you be a part of the community that we've built.
Yes, please do. And there's going to be lots of goals to go tackle in that space, India, so you're going to have plenty of work to do.
Absolutely.
That's right. You're going to have plenty of goals for a really long time, but I love that you're going to go after them and tackle them quickly and hopefully get a lot of traction. I know I'm going to be here to support you. Can't wait to see what you're going to do next. And with that, I just want to thank you for coming and joining us today.
No, thank you so much, Jen, for having me. As I mentioned, through working on the mentorship program and just being a part of the Scale family, I've just met some incredible people who have been able to share their passion with me. And I'm so glad that we've gotten the chance to know each other. And hopefully today I've been able to share with you why I'm so passionate about what I do. And so I know this is just kind of one of many conversations we're going to continue to have about doing some great work together.
Absolutely. I'm here for you. I cannot wait. And I'm very goal oriented too. So we should talk and we can see how we can help each other out. And that's one thing I want everybody to know that watches the show is sometimes you just need other people to join you. You've got goals, you want to go out and do something, and India and I are here to help you do that. And so thank you again, India, for coming. And I want to thank everyone for watching today. Please subscribe at seeandfreestudio.com. You can find us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and you'll be able to find us on Apple Podcasts as well. We're so glad you're here. Please donate to ScaleLA, and if you're interested, please join Scale Health. Thanks, everyone.